October 4th, 2022, Overwatch was released to the general public, and besides the most obvious thing,
Same game.
Kiriko is released to the general public as well, being one of the most strong and OP characters in all of Overwatch's history, right behind Well. With the reduction of a tank in Overwatch 2, Blizzard believed that every single support would become vulnerable. As a result, they all received Mercy's support passive to compensate this. In addition to the support passive, Blizzard also brought us a bunch of balances and buffs to certain characters, most notably in the support category, Mercy and Zenyatta, making Mercy's super jump even easier to do than it was in Overwatch 1, requiring just the input of a crouch key after a fly rather than needing to time it out in Overwatch 1. With Zenyatta, Blizzard gave him now a knockback effect with his kick as well as increased melee damage, making his 1v1 duels much easier. Now, Zenyatta did not succeed in this season due to one single character, Sojourn. The main reason Zenyatta was super weak against Sojourn was because of his massive head hitbox and Sojourn not needing a damage boost to one-shot 200 HP targets. Now, Blizzard was left with a very crucial decision. Should we nerf Sojourn and Kiriko to be in line with the rest of the cast, or should we buff the rest of the characters to be in tune with them? Now, Blizzard, it appeared, was going with the nerf route, nerfing Sojourn super hard, which was well deserved. Unfortunately, Kiriko's nerfs were very lackluster to say the least. Now, 9.5 months later since the launch of Overwatch 2, how have supports been balanced in Overwatch 2? Now, if you were to ask me, I would say it's probably in the worst state that it's ever been for the balance of support characters, and this is coming from someone that has hit top 500 twice on support and has primarily played support my entire time on Overwatch. I took a break and quit the game in Season 2 because I genuinely just didn't like the meta, and I was a Lucio player, and if you know anything about in Season 2, Lucio was not meta. It was a Mercy Kiriko meta. And honestly, I haven't really seen Lucio become meta since, well, I wasn't in the game. I did not play when Ryan was meta, so I unfortunately missed out on apparently one of the more fun metas. But the one thing I do know is Ana is extremely strong. Now, I'll get into every other support, but the main issue I have with Ana is that we have projected this idea that Ana is a difficult support, which just isn't true at all. I mean, one thing that has been a thing in Overwatch 1, even though she's supposed to be the quote-unquote aim character, they make your teammates' hitboxes to shoot them extremely easy. And that's what my problem with support is. It's extremely easy now. Now, it doesn't make sense for a Lucio player to then be able to pick up a character with 0 minutes of experience, play 4 hours of them, and then get into top 500. Now, I understand that I'm okay at shooters with aiming for the most part, but it just doesn't really make sense because when I'm able to out DPS people, have insane survivability, and not have to think about my util like Overwatch 1, I start to realize why I just don't like the state of balance for supports, because that was the whole thing in Overwatch 1, was thinking about your util, and the fact that they have never touched Kiriko have left every single support strong, and support players are going to always say their role is the weakest, which is just not true at all. Now, before I get hate like I did last video on how supports have been nerfed, which quote-unquote nerfs, they're nerfs that just don't make sense at all. They are completely opposite of what the nerfs are needed to be. In fact, look at Ana's. The healing nade nerf does almost nothing, and in the eyes of Awkward, who is one of the best Anas, is actually a blessing in disguise, because now it will force Anas to understand that they should be using their nade almost every single time offensively rather than defensively, because they have set such bad habits with their nades. In fact, if you even go on top 500, you will still see most of top 10 is full of Ana players, because the character is still strong in ranked ladder and probably will be for quite a while. I mean, anti is one of the most broken things in the game. I mean, it pretty much guarantees a team fight win if it's a good nade. Now, before people say people that think Ana is bad are low ranked players, I have had genuine top 500 in GM players tell me that Ana's survivability is worse now, and now that she is a bad character. They have genuinely said to me a couple weeks ago that Ana was a bad character. I'm not making this up. Most people would just say, oh, pick Kiriko. That's the problem. We've had Kiriko be meta for so long, yet when any other role has a person be meta, like tank or even DPS, they're super quick to nerf it, like Doomfist or even Tracer. But the second we have a, Kiriko, it's fine because new character, money, battle pass, right? It just doesn't make sense to me because we've had her be meta with Lucio, Mercy, Ana. We know Kiriko is versatile, which is a huge problem. She does too much. It doesn't make sense why we haven't nerfed this, but instead we're going to buff everyone else to be in tune with them and then have support be the biggest and strongest role. The other huge problem with balancing supports is that Blizzard just takes way too long to do it or just forgets to at all. And you remember in the beginning of the video how I said the whole reason Zenyatta was bad was because Sojourn was meta, right? Well, now that Sojourn isn't meta, Zenyatta is, okay? Right? The whole reason Zenyatta is good is for discording orbing tanks, not sniping discord orbs, because for whatever reason, Blizzard thinks that this is the fix, nothing else. I have lost hope for Blizzard's balancing. And the second I mention a Mercy damage boost nerf or anything with Mercy, I have just Mercy mains on my ass saying skill issue, that these are the same fuckers that can only play Mercy, and if their Mercy's taken, they just play Moira. You know what's funny about Moira, now mentioning her? Isn't it crazy how, when they reworked Symmetra, they actually made her primary fire take aim, which was a DPS class. So why the fuck does Moira still take 0 aim? I'm fine if you buff Moira's damage, but make it take aim. But no. Because we need support to take no skill. Because they know that if they make support hard to play, players are going to lose rank. And it sucks, bro. Now, in my last video, I basically said how I think some characters don't take mechanical skill. And some people implied this as I was saying that I don't view top 500 players impressive on these characters, or if you got the top 500 with these characters, it's not impressive or it didn't take skill, which is far from the truth. I do not believe low skill characters anyone gets top 500 with. There's a reason not everyone's GM1, right? Like that's kind of obvious. But what I was sort of meaning is with like low skill characters, like let's say we take a top 500 Tracer player, right? Like one of the best. And he's never played Mercy a day in his life. And then he goes to Mercy, right? And then we take a Mercy one trick that has only played Mercy a day in their life, similar to the Tracer player, right? And we put the Mercy player on Tracer, right? I guarantee you the Tracer player that switched to Mercy is going to beat the Mercy player that switched to Tracer because they have the mechanics and they have the game sense, right? The Mercy only has game sense because there's no such thing as mechanics, right? So they had to basically get a whole half, right? And with Mercy, you don't really need the mechanics. They made super jumping really easy in this game, okay? They made a lot of supports way easier than they were in Overwatch 1. And that was what I was implying. If you get mad at this, I don't discredit your success at all. I honestly, if you get the top 500 with a character, that's fucking impressive, dude. Good shit, bro, But at the same time, there's a reason mechanically skilled characters are more hype, more viewers watch it on Twitch because it is more impressive, right? People know it is. Like it's not that support isn't impressive, it's just that DPS and tank usually it's more impressive, right? And that's just kind of how it is. Yo, I appreciate the recent love and support you guys gave me on the last video. That shit was actually crazy. It did way better than I thought. Overwatch is my main game, but I'm always open to branch out. I just think the game's in a really rough state. You can catch my Twitch at 9 p.m. Eastern. pretty much almost every day. I'm trying to get GM with the pen only, and I'm also trying to beat Minecraft with the pen only. And when I mean like beat Minecraft with the pen only, like I literally mean my pen only. Like I don't even use keyboard. I got 5 binds and that's it. It is actual torture. But yeah, you guys are honestly crazy, dude. That's about it. So yeah, love you guys.